Alright, y'all. This video is then about exactly what Sean did. Um so what he did was he lost his virginity with Ashley, and then as when losing his virginity with her, she said it's so big to him. So therefore it just kind of sparked his mind into starting to think about size mattering and everything. So therefore, from watching porno, he then kind of looked at the fact that other men's penises are smaller. So therefore he looked at the fact that and then he looked at like African Americans having sex in porno. He just kind of believed that they all just needed to be big because African Americans were normally bigger than any other men out there. Um, and then also then when kind of looking at white men, it just kind of boosted his ego as is into believing that he was bigger than white men in in some kind of way. So therefore he felt he felt he could win against them in some kind of way, right? So therefore he then as then looking at that in porno, he just kind of believed that it always needed to be big. So therefore that's then just what he believed. As then he's not truly measuring things as they need to be measured and sizing things as they need to be sized. So therefore he wanted to rap and then to have hoes. So therefore he uh ended his relationship with Ashley, and he just wanted to have sex with as many women as he wanted to in order to prove that size mattered, because he just believed that they all would like it big. And then people followed this because he seemed smart enough. And then as then he was the only one blessed with the gift to kind of see this from Jesus Christ completely. So therefore since now I'm blessed with the gift to actually see this, I'm showing people exactly what he did, and then I'm showing exactly what it needs to be, because it is true that all things need to be both big and small and big. So therefore, in order for it to be sized, in order for it to have its own dimensions and stuff like that, so therefore that's then kind of how that works. So basically, this is what Sean did, and this is kind of what's going on in pornography now. Um, uh, especially with BBC. So therefore, basically, what's happening is he looked at things as it is like this. So therefore, he's basically saying that since it's closely and relational in size to another thing, he's saying that it's big. So therefore, if if these were not here, he would say that this is big. And then looking at this one, comparing these two, he would say that they both are big. And then comparing these three, he would say that they both are big. All three are big. And just comparing all of them, he would just say that they're big. And then he would get here, and then so therefore basically getting to the biggest one, he would say that it's big. And then he would say that all the rest are small. He would say the rest are small because they're not big. So therefore they're not bigger than the biggest one, when actually the biggest one then is also small, like here, because it ends at being such a length, right? So therefore he would just kind of call each of them big, in order, I guess, in order to sit back here and say that you're still big. But then when he gets to the biggest one, um, he would then say the biggest one is big, and then the rest are small. And then that's then true. But when you're looking at one on its own, and you have said that it is big because this one here is bigger than this one. This one is big, but then it's small compared to this one. So therefore, it's both big and small. And the same goes for the rest of them. So therefore, and as also with this one. But what he's trying to say is that he wants to be this one all the time. So therefore, everything else is smaller than him, right? So therefore, that's then that there then in lies the hiccup, and there then in lies the problem, because true it is bigger than most, but it is then still smaller than some. But then it is also small on its own, not only because of becoming flaccid after being erect, but it's then also small because it ends in its dimensions, right? It ends in its length, so therefore it's also small. So therefore, he's always operating on a half truth and always talking in a half truth, as if as if uh as if it is always and only big, right? So therefore that's then the problem with him. He's only looking at things and comparing them as if he is the only one that is big because he is bigger than most, right? So therefore that's the problem with him. And like I don't know how to explain it any clearer than that, y'all, because this one is big on its own, and then it's small, but then it's smaller than this one, and then this one is smaller than this one's smaller than this one. But what he will say is that this one's big, this one's big, this one's big, and this one's big, right? So just because they're close in length, so therefore he would say that these two are both big when this one is small and this one is big, right? Just based off size comparison. But he would then always want to be the biggest one, so therefore he would have dominance over other men, uh based off being the biggest one, right? So therefore what I'm saying is that things have to be both big and small. So therefore when it comes to sizing, it ends in size. So since it ends in size, it's then also so small, right? So therefore that's then the problem. But then he is it's like, since the truth of the fact of something being big is then, as it is a half truth, it kind of moves itself into reality. So therefore it's just like with any other object, like based off size comparison and size comparison to any other object. When it comes to looking at something, you naturally just say that it's big. In order to looking at something, you would naturally say that it's big, and instead of saying that it's also small. So therefore that's then how he kind of believed that he was Jesus Christ, simply because being able to grab things with your hands or something, it's either bigger than your hand or it's smaller than your hand. But he would always say that it was big, right? So or then always saying something is big enough, or it's big, or that's big, and that's therein lies the problem. Because usually if you can grab something with your hand, it just as with a penis, it is then small enough. It is not only big enough to grab, even though it may be bigger than your hand, and in girth it is small enough, right? So yeah, but then that goes for any penis, right? So there, but that goes for anything, as all things, as what I'm saying is all things are both big and small. So yeah, guys, that's then basically how he uh that's basically what he did. And just, I guess, stay tuned for the next video, y'all. Peace.